Now, this isn't one of those videos where I tell you to analyze your screen time or to change your phone to gray or to have time app limits on social media apps or any of that. Now, these things might work for some people, but personally, they didn't work for me. Today, I want to share 3 ways to build a more healthy relationship with social media that will actually help you for the long run. Now, the first point is allow yourself to experience the moment with your eyes and then record it and then send it to your friends and then post it on your story. So much of the time, we're so focused on capturing the perfect moment on our phones that we forget to experience the real moment with our eyes. And I really became aware of this after COVID because I hadn't been to Egypt in 2 years. And I found as soon as I reached my house in Egypt, the first thing that I did was I took my phone out to record it, to send it to my friends or to send snaps or to post it on my story. And then after I did that, I stood there for a second and I was like, holy shit, man, you haven't been to Egypt in 2 years. And the first thing you decide to do is to take your phone out to record it without even experiencing it with your eyes or even try to be present. And I know this might sound silly, but you'd be surprised how many people go to their favorite artists and as soon as their favorite song comes on the concert, the first thing they decide to do is take their phones out and experience it through their cameras, not through their own eyes. And now I'm not saying that we shouldn't record things or post them on our stories or send them to our friends. Not at all. I think it's lovely that you can share these moments with people. But all what I'm saying is before you decide to record something or share something with a friend or on your story or whatever it may be, first experience the moment for yourself. That's all it is. And now the second point is that you want to become aware of the accounts and people that you follow. Now there's a concept that I talked about before in one of my language learning videos that says your inputs determine your outputs. The content that you're consuming will very much determine your outputs. So this can very much be in your favor, but it can also act against you. So something so simple that you can do is to unfollow accounts or people that you no longer enjoy the content of. Like maybe you have a friend that you absolutely love, but you're on that friend's private story and they're constantly posting about what they're doing in their day and you're not interested to know what this person ate for dinner. It is completely okay to leave that person's private story. And if they're truly your friend, they will 100% understand. And now I'm not saying that you need to go on the list of accounts or people that you're following and manually unfollow them. Now you can obviously do that if you really want, but you don't need to do that. But what you can do is that if you realize that there's an account or a person that's posting content that you no longer enjoy, just decide to unfollow them. Now you can also use this concept to your advantage. So if there's a skill or a hobby that you're looking to develop, look for accounts or people that are posting about that content. So for example, if you're trying to learn a new language, for example French, follow accounts that talk about French or follow accounts that talk about language learning. And now you want to be careful with this because let's say you're trying to become better at a hobby and you're following people that are already doing this and they're doing this at like a very high level. You don't want to fall in the trap of comparing yourself to these other people because it's quite easy to fall into that trap. But if you're aware of this, then trust me, it can be quite useful to follow these accounts because it will have that idea in your head. Like I do this with running as well. I subscribe to like a lot of running YouTubers that post content about running because I really like running. And when I see people running, it motivates me to want to run. So yeah, you can use this concept to your advantage, but also be careful of that comparison trap. And finally, this last point honestly doesn't just apply to social media, it applies to anything in life, but just be honest with yourself. Like I personally don't have social media, but I use YouTube, for example, which could be considered a social media. So something that I do to help myself be more honest is I ask myself like once every 2 weeks, how has your consumption been? Now, some people look at their screen time, some people look at statistics. For me, I personally don't care about that. I just ask myself honestly, have you been overly using YouTube? Have you been scrolling on YouTube Shorts way more than you'd like? But the most important thing with this is that you have to be honest with your answer. Because some weeks I tell myself, honestly, I'm quite happy with my consumption. But then other weeks, I'm like, I think I scrolled a bit too much in the morning as soon as I got out of bed. Or I scrolled too much before I went to sleep. And the more you're honest with yourself and the more aware you become of your consumption, the more power you will gain and the healthier the relationship you will have with social media. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed our conversation and that I've given you something to think about. And like I always say, this is the Debo's way. Find your own way. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and I hope to see you soon. Peace!